Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Adam Rosman. Today is the 19th of January 2022. Wednesday, I will be your host on today's community meeting. Please, everybody, write your name under the attendee list. And as we usually do, let's start with the introductions. If you are new to the meeting, please introduce yourself if you want. If nobody wants to do an introduction, then let's continue with the first agenda point. So as we discussed last week, the proposal about a Metal3 book, we did some preparations, especially Feruz, and now actually you can find issues related to the book under the Metal3 docs repository, and there are a bunch of issues here listed with the help wanted tag, and few have been already picked by members of the EST team, but please feel free to add yourself to any of these, assign yourself to any of these issues if you are interested. I think there are quite a lot that we can choose from. This is one thing. The other thing is it would be nice if when you hit an issue or think that something would be nice to implement, then create a public issue for that, just to kind of raise the community spirit and the cooperation. That was something that I was discussing with Feruz last week. Okay, so then the next agenda points, if there are no issues with this or questions related to the documentation. Okay, if not, then I think we can continue with the next agenda point from Dimitri.
Thank you. It's a short one. I just would like to request reviews on two things related to the combined ironic / getting rid of MariaDB by default work. One of them is required to end-to-end tests, and the other is a pretty significant rework of the script to run local ironic. Uses combined ironic and also fixes a few things that prevent this script from being usable actually locally, not only in the CI. So if somebody who has voting rights on these two things could review, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I actually started to look into this. I don't have approval rights, but I wanted to ask you that I see that now in like relatively quick succession, there were changes related to the ironic with the SQLite, the reverse proxy. So I wanted to ask that, is it all tied to one specific feature that will be introduced on OpenShift, or what's the like the reason behind all of these changes? I mean, these are all good things and they make this more like simplified, but are all of these tied together?
So first, this all has little to do with OpenShift specifically. The work to use combined ironic and to get rid of MariaDB has actually started. It started basically when Metal3 started, but we never were able to finish it because of ironic limitations. So now I'm finally finishing it, and the main reason is really performance footprint of Metal3, because that seems to be scaring people from time to time how much you have to install to use Metal Cubed. They want to have like single node installations where Metal Cubes won't occupy half of the resources. And that is largely driven by this work. Some changes in this particular script you're looking at, they're all just made so that the script could be actually used locally, not only in the CI. For example, TLS setup that can work locally, not rely on that something called the script is already TLS prepared. But these changes are most like zero, just so that I could actually test what I'm writing. Most of the changes are dropping MariaDB and merging Ironic API and Ironic Conductor in the same process.
Yeah, thanks. I was just curious that because it looked all to me that these all have the usability, and I seen that you did changes with the reverse proxy that could be also useful in for load balancers and whatnot. So that's why I thought that it will be something in OpenShift, some new feature or something. Okay. Please, if somebody have approval rights, please review these. And I see that there are no new agenda points on the agenda, but as we discussed last week, today we will do some triaging. So does anybody have questions still related to this too, or any sort of comments, especially to this? This is a bit bigger. If not, then I guess we can go forward with the triaging. Well, the triage labels and the related PR is still pending. And I actually, because of this, went a bit forward and looked into that. What could be triage? So obviously in the docs, there's not much. These are all new related to the documentation. There are two in the MetaCube dev that were put here by Leonard. So the first one would be this update of the control plane / master taints for K8s v1.24.
Yes, I can maybe say that I don't think it's urgent, but we won't be able to uplift to 1.24 before we do this. Like the tests will guaranteed break. So like let's say when we get to 1.23, then we can start looking at this, that we make sure we have the right taints, and yeah, then we are ready also for 1.24.
Let's check the labels because we haven't done this before. So if I go to the labels, what sort of labels? What priority would you consider this one? Like important soon, important long term, or just a backlog thing?
Maybe important long term, I guess. We are on 1.22, so I mean, it's still like two minor releases away, but yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure that I can add the label, but I will write this up and add it later, or ask somebody to add it. Okay. Is there any comment on this? No. Then we can check the other one that was also introduced by you.
Yes, this is. I will probably start working on this pretty soon. So I'm working on making sure we have a BMO upgrade test. And when I started looking at this, I realized that I could not just set the bare metal operator image value to some old image and like start from that and then do the upgrade, because nothing happened if I changed the tag. So I will probably actually in the next week open a pull request to fix this, because otherwise I can't move forward with the BMO upgrade. But I wanted to document it since otherwise I just forget what's happening.
Okay, so this is it will be done basically by yourself. So I can assign you later to this.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. These were the two new on the Metal3 Dev, but there was an ongoing discussion still today on this. So this was pending still today, and that was an interesting problem, this failure to get node power state via IPMI tool. I just want to like ask you that if you are interested and check this out, and you have seen this problem, because it's quite weird, please just like write your thoughts here if you have seen this problem before. We had, mainly Michael had an idea with this, that what could cause this, but that was something that we haven't really seen before. It was, we suspect that it is a failure between like the VBMC and the VBMCD or the VMs, but based on what we have found, you can see this discussion here. Yeah, so that's all for the Metal3 Dev. I will add later the labels and the assignments. Is there anybody who want to add something here? Okay, if not, then let's progress. The next one is the bare metal. I looked through this. I'm not that familiar with the bare metal, but I think that there are two topics, one question and one other that have not been answered or worked with. So the question is that, is it possible to use common secret all over the BMHs? And then it described that now the secret for the BMH address password could not be shared to multiple BMHs emitting ownership error below. Is anybody who would be interested?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a mistake that we're setting the controller flag, which makes it only allow one owner. So I'll go answer this question.
Okay, thank you. The next one, let's not answer at the moment, is from Leonard.
Yeah, I seem to be having all the issues today. So this is also something I found when looking at the bare metal operator and like how to upgrade it. I realized that the ironic deployment files, they have a lot of these environment variable substitutions in them, and this is not the same as in BMO. So I think that probably it was the same for the bare metal operator also at some point, and those were like cleaned out but left in their ironic manifests. But I think it would just be good to get rid of this. It's a lot of unnecessary env subst happening in the deploy script, just to like replace the name prefix, which is not at all necessary.
So I'm not sure I got all of it, but do you consider it as a bug fix or a new feature, minor thing?
It's like a cleanup, really. It's I mean, it works like it is, but it would be cleaner to have the manifests without these like environment variable things right inside them. So I would maybe put it as a priority backlog. If someone has the time for it, then pick it up.
Okay. Based on this, would somebody be interested? Just asking, because then I would assign you, or if not, then we can go forward.
If no one else, I can probably take it when I have the time.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. And by the way, Leonard, thanks for like reporting all these issues, because that's good. That shows that there is work and discussion going on. It would be nice to see more of these. Yeah. Then CAPAM3, I looked this a bit more closely, and it seems that everything is actually taken care of, categorized and answered. So I haven't seen any reason to triage here. And then the ironic image. This one, I'm not sure I've checked, but I think this is also all correctly categorized or discussed. Yeah. Okay, so where there's labels needed or assignments, I will do that after the meeting. I won't bore you with that. Is there any other repo that you want to take a look at? Because if not, then we are done with this. I hope for the next time we will have the bot working correctly and the labels in place, so that will be a bit more professional looking. But I think for now that's all with the triaging. The last two questions is there anything that you want to do differently next time, and any modifications, changes to the meeting, any complaints, and also that if you would like to bring up any topics that are not on the agenda. Yeah, I think if nothing comes to mind, then that was all. And thank you for your attendance, and we will see each other next week.
Thank you for hosting.
Adam. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Adam, for hosting.